I've had a few questions about the homework that was due today, and I know I posted an answer key, but I would like to also just walk through a few examples from each of these sheets. I know in class for this one I did this first part, so perhaps I will, I'll do towards the end. I'll do some of these, I'll start here. Okay, so here we have a B flat in the bass. There's no figure, and if there's no figure, that means that it is 5-3. That means that it is root position. Therefore, this will have a D and an F over it. There's a 5 and there's a 3. Since there's a B flat in the key signature, this is B flat D F. This is a B flat major chord. Here, this D with the 6. Remember that 6 equals 6-3. It's just a shorthand for 6-3. So here we go up 3. There's the 3. And we go up the 6. And we can see again this is B flat D F. So this again is B flat major. This is a root position B flat major. This is first inversion. Now we have an E flat in the bass, and we have a 5 here. This 5 is just helping to clarify that for sure this is a 5-3. So here we've got a 3 and we've got a 5 with the key signature of B flat and the E flat. This is E flat G B flat, E flat major chord. Remember how D with a 6 over here was B flat? Well, look, there it is again. Don't have to figure it out again. I mean, if we wanted, 6 is 6-3. Here's the 3, here's the 6. Okay, so this flat right here. Okay, when there's just a flat by itself, this, well, first of all, there are no numbers, so we know it's a 5-3. And when there's an accidental by itself, it refers to the third above the bass in relation to the key signature. So this is telling us that there's a 3 above the bass, there's a 5 above the bass, and that the third above the bass is lowered a half step from the key signature. So in this case, that's an E flat. This gives us a C minor chord. Here's a B flat with nothing. We already figured out that's B flat major. Here's F with nothing above it. So we know it's going to be an F chord because that's the root. And F, A, C from the key signature, that's F major and B flat major. Okay. This assignment is the last time we're going to be using these kinds of things. We'll be using Roman numerals after this. This down here, this is, I always hesitate to include any jazz things in this book because the book doesn't know what it's talking about when it comes to jazz. But this is fine because it's just asking you to write chords. So we'll let that go this time. So here, this is just saying write a B diminished 7th chord. So right here, that's this, B, stack it up. To make that diminished 7, we need, of course, B natural in the bass, D, F, and A flat, so that we get a diminished triad and a diminished 7th. A minor 7 flat 5. So really what this is asking you to do is write these chords in the context of a key. So you have to account for the key. So we know A, C, E flat, G. A minor 7 flat 5. That gives us an E flat. And right there, A, C, E flat is diminished. A to G is a minor 7, so we're good. D7, D, F, A, C. D7 means a major triad with a minor 7th, so we need an F sharp to make that major. And D to C is minor, so D, F sharp, A, C. On the next page, I don't need to do too many of these, I don't think. I'll do this one. Okay, so here we have to gather up all the notes. We've got a D, C flat, A flat, F, there's another D, C flat, A flat, D. So these are the notes. If we stack that in thirds, we get D, F, A flat, and C flat. That's a diminished triad. That is a diminished seventh. So this is a D fully diminished seventh chord, and this note and this note, it goes from D down to D. So this is root position. This is an arpeggiation, but this is the true bass note of the measure, the D. So this is a 5-3. Let's look at this one. This one's interesting. I gather up the notes. I've got G, B, D, E, and there's E and D, so those are repeated. We stack it up in thirds and we get E, G, B, D. That's a minor triad with a minor seventh. So this is an E minor 7 chord. Now the bass line moves through all of these notes, but this one is our bass note for the measure. And if we've got E, G, B, D with G as the bottom note, that's a first inversion 7th chord. So the inversion symbol is 6-5. Remember, for seventh chords, we've got 7, 6-5, 4-3, 4-2. That's for root on the bottom, third on the bottom, fifth on the bottom, seventh on the bottom. All right, let's try one from this long, dense page. So here we're looking at a key signature, we're looking at the chord, we're determining the root, and we're also looking at the quality of the chord and the inversion symbol. Okay, there's no figured bass here, but we're going to be generating the figured bass symbols. So here, this first chord, you see we got G, G, B flat, D. So this is, G is the root, that's how it's stacked up in thirds. G, B flat, D is a minor chord. And the figured bass symbol for that, since it's root position, will be 5-3, or it could be nothing. Now I'm just going to look through and I see G, G, B flat, D. So this is the same thing. If you can be efficient, that's always good. Look, G, G, B flat, D again. Look here, G, B flat, D, F. That one's different, so we can't just copy that. Here, G, G, B flat, D. All right, so we missed this one here. Here we've got F sharp, we have A, and we have D. If you arrange that in thirds, it's D, F sharp, A, which is a D major triad. F sharp is on the bottom. That's the third of the chord. So we're going to call that 6, which is short for 6-3. I want to look ahead and see if there's 6-4 in here. There is. So look here. We've got G. So we have notes D, B flat, D, G. We recognize G, B flat, D as G minor, but now the fifth is in the bass. So this is a 6-4. Okay, so that's an example of that page. I know on this page I did some of this in class. I'll do something from the second page. How about if I do this measure, because there are 4 chords in this measure. When you see a parentheses around a note, that means do not include that note. in the chord. I'll explain what that note is in just a minute. But we know that here we've got C sharp, A sharp, E, G sharp, G natural. So I'm going to build this up. We've got C sharp, we've got A sharp, we've got E natural, and G natural. If you stack that, you get A sharp as the root. A sharp, C sharp, E, G. And again, just to reiterate, by stacking it, I mean arranging it in thirds. So we go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? We skip one letter and we get it in that order, and then we can figure out what it is. There's a diminished triad, there's a diminished seventh. So this is an A sharp, diminished 7. Here, this is the bass note. Okay, that's the third of this chord. And if we have a 7th chord with a third in the bass, that is 6/5. It's first inversion. Here we gather up the notes. We see there's B, D, F sharp. That's a B minor chord. D is in the bass. So we have B, D, F sharp. The third is in the bass. It's a triad. So this is B minor 6. Again, to summarize, the root is in the bass and it's a triad. It's 5/3. If it's a 7th chord, it's 7. If the third is in the bass and it's a triad, it's 6/3 or just 6. If it's a 7th chord, it's 6/5. The 5th is in the bass, 6/4. And for 7ths, 4/3. The 7th is in the bass. It's not a triad, obviously. And the 7, the symbol would be 4/2. Okay. So now E, G, C sharp, B. So I see there's C sharp, E, G, B. That's a diminished triad with a minor 7th. C sharp, half diminished 7. E is the lowest sounding note. That's the third of the chord. Third of the chord, it's a 7th chord. So it's a 6/5. And right here, we've got E sharp, G sharp, B sharp, D. That's an E sharp, fully diminished 7th chord. The root is in the bass. So that's a 7. One last page. These are just piano chords. This is pretty simple. Gottschalk is a very cheesy composer. Okay, anyway. So here we've got E flat, B flat, G flat. Look at that wonderful key signature. So we've got E flat, G flat, B flat. Do we have anything else? We do not. So that is an E flat minor chord. When we look at the bass note here, E flat is in the bass. So this is root position, which we could write nothing for, but we could also call it 5/3. All right. So this is fairly simple. I'll do this one because it looks cool. All right. So here we've got A, I see C, E flat, G, A, C, G, A, C, E flat, G. So this beautiful chord right here is an A, half diminished 7 chord. Since A is in the bass, 7 is the figure. Okay, so just a little walkthrough of some of the homework assignment for today if you find this helpful.